Hey guys, and in today's video, this is actually a podcast, the first podcast, and happy Maha Shivratri to all of you people out there. So, all of you might know what Maha Shivratri is. For those of you who don't know, it is considered as Shiva and Parvati's marriage, but some people consider it as the incarnation of, consider it as the time when Lord Shiva incarnated as Rudra. So this in this auspicious night, uh, he incarnated as Rudra and he performed the dance of creation, preservation, and destruction. So it is called as the Rudra Tandava or something. So let me tell you the story of one of the times he performed the Rudra Tandava. So yeah, so like this is the story of Nataraja. So Apasmara was a dwarf who represented ignorance and epilepsy. In order to preserve knowledge in the world, Apasmara could not be killed. So he was the he was a dwarf or something. He was like ignorance with life. So he was the living incarnation of ignorance. So if he died, knowledge could not be preserved in the world. So if somebody killed Apasmara, it would mean that attaining knowledge without effort, dedication, and hard work. So which means that if somebody killed Apasmara, then people do not need to study hard. They'll just attain knowledge like their god or something. And so what did it? And then so Apasmara, because of his power, he grew extremely arrogant and went on to challenge Shiva. He doesn't know, like, oh my god, Shiva. So he went on to challenge Shiva, and then that was a time when Shiva took his form as Nataraja and performed the famous Tandava. He performed the Tandava there, and he crushed Apasmara under his feet. So, like, oh my god, amazing. So, yeah, that's amazing. So that's how Nataraja was. And then the Nataraja temple is in Chidambaram. Everybody knows that. So I need to tell you guys a thing. So if you're watching this and if you have not watched the Isha program, please do watch it. I'm recording this on about 7 o'clock. It's now. It actually started back at 6 o'clock, but I'm recording it here, so I can't watch that. So please do watch it. It's amazing. Last year I watched it. Like lots of celebrities and people come there to the Isha Yoga Center, and Sadhguru just conducts the whole thing. So please give me a minute. I'll drink some water. Okay, I'll tell you another story. I can tell you like why we celebrate Shivratri. So it is so by most people it is said to be the day when Shiva and Parvati married, but others say that it is the day when Lord Shiva, as I told you, incarnated as Rudra. So people tell that he incarnated as Rudra, right? So in that time what happened is, I'll tell you. Wait a minute. So yeah, he incarnated as Rudra. Okay. So I'll tell you when he first incarnated as a Shivalinga. According to some sources, this is where people celebrate Shivratri because he incarnated as a Shivalinga. So okay, I'll tell you the story. one day, Brahma, the creator of the universe, and Vishnu, preserver of the universe, were fighting over who is the best. Like, but according to me, Vishnu is better because he was the one who he was the one who created Brahma. So Brahma actually came from Vishnu's umbilical cord. So yeah, I'll tell you that story for another time. So okay. So okay, I'll tell you the story. So they were fighting over who is the best, and then suddenly, when they were fighting, there was a they were not fighting; they were arguing. Okay, because okay, uh, then suddenly a large Shivalinga appeared. It was like it was like infinitely tall and infinitely deep. So it was like amazingly large. Because if you go down and down and down, it would be going down, 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 and if you go up, 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 it would be going. So like was very tall and very deep. So and then Brahma said like, oh look, Vishnu is a Shivalinga. Okay, let's see who gets to the end first because it looks very tall. So yeah. So what Brahma did is he went up a Shivalinga while Vishnu went down the Shivalinga. The Shivalinga was like very large, so imagine. And when Brahma went to the top of the Shivalinga, he saw a flower on the top. So he took the flower and came down. Vishnu again and again. So he went bottom. He went to the bottom and came up. So yeah, and then both of them argued again. And Brahma had the flower for proof that he went to the top. And then Vishnu was like very furious and all. And then Shiva was very furious and he appeared. And he like that's the time when he cursed Brahma. Like he cursed him that nobody would ever pray to him, and no temples will be built for him. So that's why we don't have any Brahma temples or nobody prays for Brahma. So yeah, that is the time. And then on that time he also did the Tandava on Brahma, but Brahma did not die or something. He did the Tandava. He did the Tandava of creation, preservation and destruction. He was there telling that, okay, you are for creation, you are for preservation, but I am for all of them and destruction as well. So that's what uh, Shiva said. Okay, so Shiva is like one of the one of the one of the higher gods in uh, Puranas history. So Shiva and Vishnu are like the same level. They are higher than Brahma because Shiva caused him and Brahma was lower. But Brahma was the one who creates human beings. Vishnu preserves them as per the Dashavatara. He takes the avatars every yuga, which means the yuga means like 10,000 I think it's like 10 million years or something, a yuga. And then the world comes to destruction, and then he takes one of the avatars, and then another yuga later the world comes to destruction again. He takes one of the avatars and he takes the important stuff. He preserves the important stuff. So that's what preservation means here. And Shiva is destroyer. He is the one who destroys the world at the end of every yuga. So 5 yugas together form one kalpa. So this is just fun facts. I'll tell you more about yugas and kalpas in another video. So today we have lots of things to cover. We have to cover the Isha program. No, we don't have to cover that. Okay, we have to cover 2 more stories, and I'll tell you more about Shiva. Okay, so the next story we have is the story of Shiva, one of Shiva's devotees. So there was a sage, I don't remember his name. So yeah, there was a sage. he did not have a son or daughter, so he did not have any child. So he he blushed to Shiva, and then Shiva, and then he did not blush to Shiva. Sorry. So and he prayed to Shiva, and Shiva told like, okay, you can have a child, Tatastu, which means so it may happen. Your wish is my command or something. So he said, Tatastu, you will have a child, but he will only live for 16 years, and he'll die. So at that time, so yeah, okay. And then Dhruva became a Shiva devotee, of course, because he was born with the grace of Shiva. He became like a big Shiva devotee, and then after 16 years, his parents are very sad. So, and then he comforts his parents, don't worry, mother, father, don't worry. Um, um, like, if I die, it's okay because it's by the grace of Shiva and stuff. So, I'll introduce another character here, Yamadharmaraj. Some people may know about it. So, Yamadharma is actually like the god of death. So he actually he he takes the soul from the people. He is basically like Hades. So he takes the soul from the people when their lifetime is over, and he takes them to heaven or hell upon where. So yeah, uh, yes. So now this Yamadharma has came and he wants to take Dhruva's soul. So Dhruva, the child's name was Dhruva. I did not mention it, by the way. So he wants to take Dhruva's soul and send Dhruva to heaven. But Dhruva is like, he's doing a puja. He's made a Shiva Linga and he's doing a puja. At that time, Yamadharmaraj appears to take Dhruva's soul. He said, it's time up for you. And Dhruva gets all scared and he hugs the Shiva Linga. And then Yamadharma becomes like furious, and he just takes his whip and whips Dhruva. So the whip actually swirls around Dhruva and ties him around with the Shiva Linga. So, and he's like trying to pull him very hard and strain him. So strangle him. So like yeah, but there was a Shiva Linga, right? And then Shiva appears and he was like very furious. Like, you are very bad. I think he did do the Tandava, but there aren't any mentions about it. So I don't know. So I think he did do the Tandava on Yama, but I don't know. He's like he blesses like Dhruva and says that Dhruva, you can live forever. You can live not forever. You can live a happy human life. You don't need to go now. And he like punishes Yamadharma or something. So he says that he doesn't need to be only for 16 years. So after then, Dhruva's mother and father are happy. Dhruva's happy because he saw Shiva for real life, and that's it. Okay, I'll tell you another story now. This is the story of Ganga. As we may know a bit, but I'll tell it again. So this king Bhagirath. So he actually has like ancestors, 60,000 ancestors. Who so there's like King Sagara, and he has 60,000 sons. So he actually did some ritual, and he sent a horse around the kingdom. So anybody who challenges the horse will be like will challenge the kingdom, so they will do that. And then that's what happens. And then the horse is taken by Indra, and then he left it near a sage. I don't remember the sage's name, but he left it near a sage. So a sage has it. and the king Sagara sent his 60,000 sons, and they went looking and they found the horse near the sage. And then they became very furious and they tried to kill the sage, but the sage was like, he opened his eyes and he became furious and he turned all of them into ashes. And then it was so long on, and then the King Sagara sent his grandson, I forgot his name, the grandson's name, like, I forget everybody's name, Shiva, please help me. I forget everybody's name, okay, and his name is that, what? Ah, yes. So the King Sagara sends his grandson, and then his grandson goes looking and he sees the sage. So Garuda comes from somewhere, I don't know where from Garuda comes. He says that because they, and then he saw like 60,000 piles of ashes. And then Garuda says like, yeah, your uncles did like this bad thing. So actually his uncles, yeah, because the king has two wives, and the first wife's son, whose son is the grandson he sent, and then his second wife's sons are the 60,000 sons. So yeah, and he says your uncles did a bad thing, and like this. So yeah, so for them to attain moksha, which is for them to go to heaven, you must actually do a ritual and do the rites in the river Ganga. So that's what Garuda said. And then he did not, like now Ganga was in heaven. So it was not on earth. The river was not on earth. The river was flowing on heaven at the time. So yeah, and then uh, the grandson was very sad, and then he gave it to his son, and then finally it came to Bhagirath, King Bhagirath here. So he did a yagya, not yagya. He prayed to Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva, sorry. And then Lord Shiva appeared, and then the Bhagirath asked to Lord Shiva that, so like this, I have 60,000 ancestors to do rites. So can I? No. Actually, he did not pray to Lord Shiva. He actually prayed to Lord Brahma. Okay, so yes, and then Brahma said, okay, you can do that, but the force of Ganga on earth will be very hard. It would be hard to control and all. So Bhagirath tells okay, but and then oh my god, Ganga just comes flowing like, and then almost everything is destroyed. Then yes, Bhagirath prays to Lord Shiva, and Shiva appears, and he says, "Oh my God, Lord Shiva, there's a lot of things here. Everything is going to be destroyed by Ganga. Please help me." Then Shiva said, "Okay, I'll help you." And then Shiva he usually ties his hair up, right? He opens his hair up, and then he puts all of Ganga inside his hair and closes his hair. But like Bhagirath still has his rights to do. So he asked Shiva. Shiva said okay, and he just plucked out a strand of hair from his head, Shiva, and then that amount of, and then Ganga flew slowly, but you can't say Ganga flows slowly right now, because okay, imagine the Ganga now. It's very force. So the reverse is very force, and then imagine what it could have been while Ganga was more force, like only a strand of hair out of Shiva's head, and this force is what we get. So like Ganga fully free out could have been like a disaster. The world could have ended. So yeah, that is the story of Ganga. So only 19 minutes in, or should I say 20 minutes in. So I want to get the video going for a few more minutes. We'll talk about Shiva's personal things. So Shiva was born on the beginning of the universe. So like when the universe was started, from nowhere Shiva and Vishnu just sprang out. They just came out. That's it. And then people may ask, where did Brahma come from? I'll tell you. So Brahma actually came from Vishnu. From Vishnu's umbilical point, that thing came out a lotus, and then out of that lotus came Brahma. That is why Brahma sits in a lotus. So this represents how a baby is connected to their mother's umbilical cord. That's what the people say. So yeah, and then okay, let's talk about Shiva. So Shiva just sprang up, and then he has, I think, yeah, he has, yeah. Then he marries Parvati. Everybody knows that. That is what Shivratri is. He marries Parvati. So he actually, I think, yeah. And then he has Parvati, and he marries Parvati. Parvati is also called Durga or Kali, for upon where it's like so said. So he he marries Parvati. So yeah, and then I'll tell you a fun fact. I forgot it. But Ganga is also called Bhagirathi because she was freed from heaven by river by the king Bhagirath. So she's also called Bhagirathi. So yeah, and then Shiva has two sons, Ganesha and Muruga. Muruga being the god of Tamil. Uh, Everybody knows that he created Tamil, not Agastya created Tamil. People say Agastya created Tamil. No, Muruga created Tamil. Agastya just wrote the grammar for Tamil. He was a great sage. He was a great sage. He was the one who like made Tamil more rounded. He created the grammar for Tamil. He did not create Tamil. So yeah. So yeah, let's tell you about how Ganesha was born. Ganesha was actually created by Ma Parvati, and then and then the first time he meets his father, so Shiva did not know who Ganesha was. So he was telling, don't go into Parvati's room. She's doing a puja. Don't go in there. And then Shiva was like, she's my wife, bro. Who are you to tell me? So yeah, and then he cuts off Ganesha's head. And then when Parvati is done the puja and comes out, she saw Ganesha without no head. So she got very sad. All of the gods appeared there, and then Shiva sent his servants to go and get a head of any animal. So they go and get a head of an elephant. So that the elephant head was fixed onto Ganesha. Now Ganesha has an elephant head. So Ganesha was blessed by all the gods, and he is the first god of the Hindus. So when we Hindus are doing a puja, we always start with the Ganesh puja, and then we do any other puja. So yeah, and Muruga was created by Shiva. So out of his, he has his third eye, no? From out of that, Muruga came. Muruga was actually born as six babies who were who were who were raised by the Kartikeya girls. I don't know what to say. In Tamil we say Kartigai Pengal. I don't know, which means Kartigai women. So yeah, who were raised by them. And then when they became like large, when the babies became bigger, they all merged into one,